You're being tested. And most men have no idea these tests are even happening, let alone how to pass them. Today, I'm going to reveal the 10 most common psychological tests women use on men, why they use them, and most importantly, how to pass them with flying colors. By the end of this video, you'll never be caught off guard again. A strong outfit can fall to something small. A belt that sags or squeezes does more than ruin a look. It throws off balance. Anson Belt and Buckle removes that weakness. Since 2009, this family-run brand has built belts without holes, using a precise micro-adjustable track. It doesn't guess. It fits. Always. One buckle, one strap, or many. Each piece works with the next. One set can do the work of many. Simplicity over clutter, strength over wear. They've earned over 40,000 five-star reviews and stand behind every belt for life. Good tools should last. Click the link or scan the QR code. Build your box set and receive 2 bonus pieces free. That's 3 buckles, 3 straps, 9 solid combinations, 1 decision, many uses. Upgrade deliberately. Test 1. The compliance test. The first test is what I call the compliance test, and this one happens early, usually in the first few dates. Here's how it works. She'll make a small, seemingly innocent request to see how easily you'll bend to her will. Can you pick me up instead of meeting there? Can you change our dinner reservation to a different restaurant? Can you grab me a drink while you're up? Now, these requests sound reasonable on the surface, and sometimes they are just normal requests. But often, they're tests. She's not actually testing whether you're nice or helpful. She's testing whether you have a backbone, whether you're a people pleaser who'll do anything to keep her happy, or a man with boundaries who makes decisions based on what makes sense, not just what she asks for. Here's the psychology. Women are attracted to men who have standards and boundaries, men who can say no when something doesn't work for them, because if you'll do anything she asks right from the start, she subconsciously knows you'll do anything anyone asks, and that's not attractive. So how do you pass this test? You evaluate each request on its own merit. If it makes sense and you're happy to do it, you do it. But if it's inconvenient, unreasonable, or she's clearly just testing you, you politely decline or offer an alternative. Actually, I'm already on this side of town, so meeting there works better for me. I'm good with the restaurant I picked. I think you'll really like it. Test 2. The emotional reaction test. Test number 2 is massive, and most guys fail it spectacularly. She'll say or do something specifically designed to get an emotional reaction out of you. She might mention another guy who's interested in her. She might make a comment about your appearance or your job. She might bring up a controversial topic to see if you'll get defensive. Here's a real example. My coworker asked me out today. He's really successful and drives a nice car. Now, most guys hear this and immediately feel their heart rate spike. They get jealous. They get insecure. They start asking questions. What did you say? Are you interested in him? Do you think about other guys? Congratulations, you just failed. She's not telling you this because she's interested in her coworker. She's telling you this to see how secure you are. She's testing whether you're a confident man who knows his value or an insecure boy who falls apart the moment there's potential competition. Here's the deeper psychology. Women need to know that the man they're with can handle pressure, that he won't crumble during tough times, that he's emotionally stable and grounded. Because if you lose your composure over something this small, how are you going to handle real problems? Job loss? Family drama? Life's actual challenges? So how do you pass this test? You remain completely unfazed. You might even smirk a little. That's nice. What did you tell him? Or even better, sounds like he's got good taste. Test 3. The busy test. Test number 3 is subtle but incredibly common. I call it the busy test. She suddenly becomes unavailable. She takes longer to text back. She can't make plans because she's so busy with work or has a lot going on. And here's what most men do. They panic. They start texting more. They start asking when she'll be free. They offer to work around her schedule completely. They essentially start chasing harder the moment she pulls back. That's exactly what she's testing for. She wants to see if you have your own life, or if your entire world revolves around her. She wants to know if you're the kind of man who falls apart when she's not available, or the kind who has his own purpose, his own friends, his own life that continues with or without her. Here's the counterintuitive truth. The more she pulls back, the more you should focus on your own life. When she texts you 3 hours later instead of immediately, you don't respond in 30 seconds. You respond when it's convenient for you because you were actually busy doing something meaningful. When she says she's busy this week, you don't beg for scraps of her time. You say, "No problem, let me know when your schedule clears up." And then you go live your life. You make plans with your friends. You hit the gym. You work on your business or your hobbies. You post on social media, doing interesting things that don't involve her. What happens next is fascinating. She starts to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, whether you're thinking about her. And ironically, she starts making more time for you. Test 4, the drama test. Test number 4 is what I call the drama test, and it's designed to see how you handle conflict. She'll create a problem out of nothing. She'll start an argument over something small. She'll get upset about something you said or did that seems completely innocent. You liked another girl's photo on Instagram. You didn't text me goodnight last night. You took too long to introduce me to your friends at the party. Now, most guys respond to this in one of two ways, both wrong. Option 1, they immediately apologize and try to fix it, even though they didn't actually do anything wrong. They become overly apologetic and walk on eggshells. Option 2, they match her energy and escalate the conflict. They get defensive, argumentative, and turn it into a bigger fight. Both responses fail the test. Here's what she's actually testing. Can you remain calm under pressure? Can you handle her emotions without losing control of your own? Are you going to be a stable, grounded presence in her life? Or are you going to add to the chaos? The right response is what I call calm assertiveness. You acknowledge her feelings without accepting false blame. You stay relaxed and non-reactive. You address the issue like a rational adult, not an emotional teenager. I can see you're upset. Let's talk about what's really bothering you. Or, I don't think liking a photo is disrespectful, but if it bothers you, help me understand why. You're not dismissing her feelings, but you're also not accepting responsibility for something that isn't actually a problem. You're showing her that you can handle emotional situations without losing your frame. Test 5, the jealousy test. Test number 5 is the jealousy test, and it's closely related to the emotional reaction test but deserves its own category. She'll deliberately try to make you jealous. She might talk about how attractive a celebrity is. She might tell you about a guy who hit on her. She might even flirt with someone in front of you to see how you react. The wrong response is obvious: getting visibly jealous, upset, or possessive, making a scene, getting angry at her or the other person, giving her ultimatums. But here's where it gets tricky. The other wrong response is pretending you don't care at all, acting like you're so cool and indifferent that it wouldn't matter if she left with another guy right now. Both extremes fail the test. She wants to know that you value her, but not that you're insecure about losing her. There's a sweet spot in the middle. The right response shows amused confidence. You acknowledge what's happening without being threatened by it. Test 6, the neediness test. Test 6 is the neediness test, and it comes in many forms. She might ask you to do something for her that she could easily do herself. She might create a problem that she needs you to solve. She might even pretend to be more helpless than she actually is. Can you help me move this weekend? I don't know what to do about this situation at work. I'm so bad with technology. Can you fix my phone? Now, here's the tricky part. Sometimes these are genuine requests, and helping out is the right move. But sometimes these are tests to see if you'll drop everything to rescue her. She's testing whether you're a man with healthy boundaries who helps when it makes sense, or a people pleaser who'll sacrifice his own priorities to play Captain Save a Woman. The right approach is to evaluate each situation independently. If she needs genuine help and you're available and willing, help her. But if you have your own plans, your own priorities, or if she's clearly capable of handling it herself, you set a boundary. I've got plans this weekend, but I can help you for an hour on Friday if that works. That's a tough situation. What do you think you should do? This one is powerful because it puts the problem solving back on her instead of you jumping in to fix everything. Test 7, the opinion test. Test number 7 is subtle but revealing. She'll express an opinion on something and wait to see if you agree with her just to please her, or if you'll voice your own perspective. I don't really like that restaurant. I think that movie was terrible. I don't get why people like that band. The weak move is to immediately agree with her, even if you actually disagree. Yeah, you're totally right. I didn't like it either. She knows you're lying. And even if she doesn't know for certain, she feels the inauthenticity, and it makes her lose respect for you. She's testing whether you're a man with your own opinions, your own tastes, your own identity, or whether you're a chameleon who morphs into whatever you think she wants. The right response is simple. Be honest. Really? I actually loved that place. The food was great. What didn't you like about it? You're not telling her she's wrong. You're just being authentic and opening up a real conversation. Here's what this does psychologically. It shows her that you're secure enough to have different opinions, that you're not so desperate for her approval that you'll pretend to be someone you're not. Test 8, the space test. Test 8 is the space test, and it's one of the most misunderstood. At some point, usually after you've been seeing each other for a while, she'll say she needs space. She needs time to think. She needs to focus on herself for a bit. Most men hear this and immediately panic. They think it's a breakup in disguise. They start texting more. They ask a million questions. They try to fix whatever's wrong. They essentially do the opposite of giving her space. That's failing the test. Here's what's actually happening. She's testing whether you're confident enough to let her have space without falling apart. Whether you trust that if you're the right guy for her, space won't change that. The right response is to give her exactly what she asked for. I understand. Take the time you need. Let me know when you want to reconnect. And then you actually give her space. You don't text her. You don't check in. You don't try to maintain contact. You respect her request completely. Meanwhile, you go live your best life. You focus on your goals. You spend time with friends. You stay active on social media doing interesting things. You essentially show her that your life continues with or without her. Test 9. The future test. Test 9 is what I call the future test, and it usually comes up after you've been dating for a while. She'll bring up future topics to gauge your reaction. Marriage, kids, moving in together, meeting each other's families, long-term plans. She's not necessarily saying she wants these things right now. She's testing how you react to the concept of a serious future together. Some guys hear this and immediately panic. They shut down the conversation. They get uncomfortable. They change the subject. They say they don't want to think that far ahead. That response tells her you're not serious and about her, that you're keeping your options open, that you see her as temporary. Other guys go to the opposite extreme. They immediately start planning the wedding. They get overly eager about commitment. They act like they've been waiting for this conversation forever. That response can seem desperate or like you're just settling for whoever's available. The right response is calm, open, and honest. Yeah, I can see a future with the right person. I'm not in a rush, but I'm definitely open to something serious when it feels right. You're showing her that you're capable of commitment without being desperate for it, that you take relationships seriously, but you're not going to force something that isn't ready yet. If she asks more specific questions like, "Do you want kids someday?" or "What are you looking for in a relationship?" answer honestly. Don't tell her what you think she wants to hear. Tell her your actual truth. Test 10, the consistency test. And finally, test number 10. This is the big one that encompasses everything else. The consistency test. This isn't a one-time test. It's ongoing. She's watching to see if you're the same person on date 5 as you were on date 1. If you're the same guy when things are easy as when things are hard. If your behavior matches your words. Are you consistently confident or only when things are going well? Are you consistently respectful or only when you want something? Are you consistently driven and ambitious, or did that all disappear once you got comfortable in the relationship? Here's the brutal truth. Most men can put on an act for a few weeks or even a few months. They can pretend to be confident. They can fake having their life together. They can be on their best behavior. But over time, the real person emerges. The mask slips. The effort decreases. She's testing whether you're genuinely the man you presented yourself as, or whether that was all a performance to win her over. The only way to pass this test is to actually be that person, not just act like it. This means doing the deep work on yourself, building real confidence, not fake bravado, developing actual ambition and purpose, not just talking about your dreams, being genuinely secure and emotionally stable, not pretending to be. Because you can fool someone for a little while, but you can't maintain a false version of yourself indefinitely. Eventually, the truth comes out. The men who pass this test are the ones who are continuously working on themselves, who have integrity, who are the same in private as they are in public, who don't need to fake anything because they've done the work to become the man they claim to be. Look, I know this video might have opened your eyes to some uncomfortable truths. You might be realizing that you've been failing these tests without even knowing they were happening. But here's the good news. Now you know. And knowledge is power. These tests aren't meant to be manipulative games. They're evolutionary psychology at work. Women have been using these tests for thousands of years because they need to know if a man is strong enough, stable enough, and genuine enough to be a worthy partner. And the beautiful thing, when you understand these tests, you stop seeing them as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities. Opportunities to demonstrate your value, your confidence, your authenticity. The key insight is this: you don't pass these tests by being perfect. You pass them by being genuine, by having real confidence, not fake cockiness, by having actual boundaries, not playing hard to get, by being emotionally stable, not pretending to be unaffected by everything. Be the man these tests are designed to find. The man who has his life together, the man who knows his worth, the man who's not desperate for validation because he validates himself. Do that, and these tests become easy, natural, almost invisible. If this video helped you see the game more clearly, smash that like button. Subscribe for more psychology and dating truth that actually works. And drop a comment telling me which of these tests you've experienced. Remember, she's not testing you to make you fail. She's testing you to see if you're the one who passes. Be that man. I'll see you in the next one.